I know. What about Rep TV? Okay, y'all, it's time for a deep dive. Let's talk about paragraph number 5 in Taylor's letter announcing to us that she purchased her master's. I did a full recap and reaction to that news in last week's video, so definitely go check that out because a lot of what I talked about has to do with today's video. Ugh, and I'm just so excited to bring it to you. I also had to bust out this shirt. Who remembers? This shirt of mine has a lot of lore behind it. It's what I was wearing in my first YouTube video that went viral, the one that a lot of you found me from. It's the shirt that I wore to meet Taylor Swift in. This ticket was just given to us at Will Call, and I'm freaking out right now. We're going to meet Taylor on our way to go meet her, and I'm gonna cry. It just means so much to me, and like, Reputation gave me my start on YouTube back in 2016 when I didn't really understand what copyright was, so I thought it'd be so smart to live stream my reaction to the full Reputation album in its entirety. Yeah, that was stupid, but makes for funny memories. And it warms my heart that a lot of you guys have been here with me since then. So yeah, love you so much. Hi, I'm Lauren. If you're new here, so excited that you're here. I talk about all things pop culture, a lot of Taylor Swift, like a lot of Taylor Swift. But make sure you're subscribed and following me on Instagram, TikTok. Let's get into today's video. I'm so jazzed to talk about Reputation again. Just so excited. Hopping right in, let's read paragraph 5. I know. What about Rep TV? Full transparency, I haven't even re-recorded a quarter of it. The Reputation album was so specific to that time in my life, and I kept hitting a stopping point when I tried to remake it. All that defiance, that longing to be understood while feeling purposefully misunderstood, that desperate hope, that shame-born snarl and mischief. Oh my God, her writing. To be perfectly honest, it's the one album in the first 6 that I thought couldn't be improved upon by redoing it. Not the music or photos or videos. So I kept putting it off. There will be a time, if you're into the idea, for the unreleased vault tracks from that album to hatch. I've already completely re-recorded my entire debut album, and I really love how it sounds. Those 2 albums can still have their moments to re-emerge when the time is right, if that would be something you guys would be excited about. But if it happens, it won't be from a place of sadness and longing for what I wish I could have. It will be a celebration now. Ugh! Lyrical gold, everything she writes. So from this particular 5th paragraph, we learn a couple things. We learn that the whole debut album has been entirely re-recorded already. Is it ready to go? Are you gonna announce it next? Is that why there seems to be 2 pages on the TaylorSwift.com splash page? Is there a page behind it that you're gonna like, I don't know what noise that was, make it come to life that debut's coming? Maybe. So one, that is amazing news. I cannot wait to hear those songs again. Little baby Taylor. Ugh, are we gonna get I Heart question mark? I hope we do. But we also learn that Taylor has attempted to re-record Reputation TV and didn't even get through a quarter of it. Because I'm a freak, I went back and looked at the track list. Reputation has 15 tracks. So if we're taking her by her word, that would mean 3.75 songs. So by that math, and when you lay it all out, we already know of 2 confirmed re-recorded tracks that I'm sure she will give us the full version of eventually. Like I talked about last week, Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version, we have heard 3 times, or at least snippets of it, and Delicate, Taylor's version from The Summer I Turned Pretty. They're not available on Spotify just yet, but I feel like we're gonna get a special release or possibly Reputation Deluxe album. Looking back, it is interesting that she didn't make a Reputation Deluxe album. She loves to make deluxe albums, whether it's just a remixed song or an acoustic version. So I could definitely see her releasing Reputation Deluxe, and also just to even re-record those 2 tracks. There were sound engineers involved, background musicians were hired, and people that already did the work, and Taylor Swift is just not gonna keep those tracks from us, I promise. So that's why I'm torn on how I feel about the will she, won't she debate that's happening all over Swiftie social media right now, because there's a lot of people who are like, RIP Rep TV, or like, no, she's tricking us, it's gonna come out, and I don't know, I'm just torn on the whole will she or won't she debate, because she's already started. And honestly, some of the songs on Reputation are like, triumphant, stick it to the man, I bury hatchets but I keep maps of where I put them, no one's gonna hold me back, and tracks that I'm sure would just be so cathartic to re-record, sing again, and bring new life and meaning to, you know? I mean, come on. This is why we can't have nice things. Ugh, iconic diss track to Scooter, Big Machine, Carly Kloss, Kim, Kanye. I did something bad, like, ugh, hell yes, such a bop. But then there's also the other songs on Reputation that, like she said, don't need to be improved upon because maybe they can't be. And, you know, I'm talking about songs like Gorgeous, New Year's Day, King of My Heart, Dress, Call It What You Want. Ugh, those songs are like such stunning, living, breathing, time capsule masterpieces about a beautiful love story that Taylor Swift lived for 6 years. Those songs and the way she sang them and the way that she felt when recording them, it encapsulates everything that she was going through at that time. And I love that Reputation was like a sneaky bait and switch album. It starts out all angry and defiant, and then like it turns out under all of that noise, it's a delicate love album to what was her first real long-term adult relationship. And I mean, you can have your own opinion, but I have nothing bad to say about Joe Alwyn. She made multiple albums about him. She made one of what I think is one of the best love songs of all time, Lover, about him. The whole Lover album, Reputation, of course. And yes, I'm sure that other boyfriends like Calvin Harris, John Mayer, Jake Gyllenhaal, they were all impactful on her life and growth as a woman, I'm sure, but just not like how Joe Alwyn lifted her up in one of the darkest times of her life when she needed him most. And he dusted her off and made her feel brand new and like his favorite cardigan. He did that with her. He did that for her. And because of that, no amount of Swiftie gossip or sarcasm can change my mind about the fact that I believe Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift were destined to meet and destined to part. Because that's just how life goes, baby. I've always liked to say that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And that's just really how I feel. What are your thoughts on that? I feel like there's a whole lot of things that were said online in the Swiftie universe in the lead up, especially the lead up to TTPD, when we were theorizing. And to be honest, I probably said some things about Joe Alwyn during that time because, I don't know, mob mentality, but I can't be held responsible for what comes out of my mouth during a Taylor Swift album release. It's like entering a new dimension, okay? Anyways, back to Reputation and why it was such a big deal at the time. Might I remind you that this is the album right after she fully wiped her social media clean. And I don't know if you're new to the fandom or not, but Taylor Swift used to be an avid social media user. I'm talking tweets every single day, MySpace vlog updates while she was on tour, Instagram posts, and not just like carefully curated posts with her cool camera filter that are carefully crafted to promote something, but I'm talking like silly pictures of her and her friends and her family and her cats and even her boyfriends. Yes, you heard me right.
1 year, we got a 1 year cake. We got a 1 year cake. It's 1 year. Yay.
This was the era of swan goals and her posting pictures of her and Calvin Harris while they were dating on vacation. And it was a magical time on social media. And then suddenly in 2016, Kim and Kanye took all of that away from her, went on Snapchat, made up these lies, hashtag Taylor Swift is over party was trending, and the whole world started hating on our little pop princess darling, who could do no wrong in the public eye, which was also on the heels of her insanely successful 1989 album release. She was making music history and headlines for being the first person to successfully go from full country star into global pop superstar. I mean, remember Welcome to New York and how big of a deal that was? The 1989 World Tour was also like, oh my god, such a fun time. A social media frenzy, if you will. Like, in case you don't remember this, after every single 1989 World Tour stop, it's still my biggest regret in life that I didn't go to the 1989 World Tour. I should have gone. I was a broke college student, but I should have gone. I should have made it work. But every night after a tour stop on the 1989 World Tour, I'd be refreshing social media furiously to see what mega celebrity friend she had brought on stage with her to surprise her audience with, because let me tell you, you name a mega celebrity person from 2016, they were on the 1989 World Tour. It was crazy. Everyone from Idina Menzel, Ellen DeGeneres, Victoria's Secret models, Kendall Jenner, LOL, Phoebe and Joey from Friends, you name it, and they showed up on this tour. It was iconic. I'm so jealous of anyone who went, which is probably a lot of you. Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy to think about. This was like in the squad goals era. Remember all that? Oh my god. I still say squad, probably because of Taylor. Hi squad, that's like my thing. And like, it's so funny. Obviously now we just lived through the Eras Tour era. The biggest deal in the world, this pop culture moment in history that we'll always remember. It's like, Yes, the Eras tour was amazing, and that was like the highest that we've ever seen Taylor be at the tippy top. But Taylor back in 2016 was at the tippy top of her game, of anyone's game back in 2016. So it's like, it's wild to look back on Eras tour versus that time, because back then it was all just like violently taken from her. And she literally disappeared and wasn't seen for almost a year until this sneaky paparazzi photo, which identified her on a balcony with a new boyfriend, Joe Alwyn. So for Reputation to be this like coming back from the dead, I do what I want, I did something bad and it felt so good moment in her life and moment in our lives, it was iconic. And what's even crazier to me is that Reputation wasn't like widely well received by some audiences. Like, isn't that crazy to say now in 2025? I honestly think that's because like news publications, they were all just still reeling from the Kim, Kanye, Snapchat, snake lives. And the majority of the world still believed those lies because they weren't officially debunked until the epic 2020 30-minute full phone call that was leaked by Kanye's team, proving Taylor was right. I did a whole reaction to that full video leak when it came out at the time, and it's so fun to like look back on all these moments in Swiftie history, ugh. Anyways, I'm getting off track here. So if we go back to the 3.75 tracks that she's maybe recorded, Ed Sheeran told us back in 2023 that Endgame had not been re-recorded yet. That was 2 years ago. So if she does choose to give us more Rep TV tracks, I predict that Getaway Car would definitely be one of them. Especially since Jack Antonoff just posted that amazing celebratory video of them like recreating the iconic moment when they came up with the lyrics on the spot, put the money in the bag and he stole the keys. It's just, I love them. I love their friendship.
That was the last time you ever...
And I also stand by my word from way, way back in the day when I did all the Reputation lyric decodings. Oh, I missed that time in my life. Maybe I should revisit some of that. But I stand by my word that Getaway Car is a song about Tom Hiddleston being the getaway car that Taylor Swift needed to escape the kind of toxic relationship that she had with Calvin Harris, which would probably be less hard and gut-wrenching to re-record than any of the love songs dedicated to Joe. Obviously, my mind goes back to that iconic video of Taylor and Tom Hiddleston dancing barefoot at the Met Gala together. You're not supposed to have phones in there. Someone recorded Taylor Swift, Tom Hiddleston dancing, having a moment. And at that moment in time, Taylor Swift was with Calvin Harris. But yes, this was also the same Met Gala night where she met Joe Alwyn for the first time, his buzz cut, her hair bleached. That was a wild pop culture moment filled in history. But because of that, I did find it interesting that Delicate is already re-recorded, because that's also a very sweet love song to Joe about it being very delicate and new and keeping it to yourself. But now that I think about it, because she premiered it in Killing Eve, the TV show, maybe she was prioritizing songs she had licensing requests for. Those sync requests are worth a lot of money, and we know that that was a huge driving factor in why she wanted to re-record any of her albums at all. Also, another side note, this is quite a funny Swiftie history video, I didn't plan on that, but this is like where my brain goes. Side note, do you remember how amazing it was that Taylor Swift had her brother, Austin Swift, record a cover of Look What You Made Me Do under a fake name with a fake band name just because she didn't want Scooter Braun to get a single penny of that licensing deal? Oh, we love Petty Swift. It's not even Petty Swift. It is take what is rightfully yours, Swift. I love that. I mean, it was truly iconic behavior. The way, I think I did a YouTube video on that way back in the day. The picture of Jack Leopards and the Dolphin Club, and the Dolphin Club is what Austin Swift's old Twitter name used to be, and it's a picture of Austin as a boy, but they covered his face. It's just, the lore. Word of the day. Okay, so now to the question of the day. Do I believe that Taylor Swift will re-record Reputation, Taylor's version, in its entirety? I mean, it sounds like she's definitely going to give us the unreleased vault tracks. She even said it in her Time Person of the Year interview. The upcoming vault tracks for Reputation will be fire, she promises. So yes, sounds like those will hatch when she feels like the moment is right. But will Taylor Swift re-record the whole entire Reputation album? Well, I kind of think she will, and not a lot of people online agree with me. But I feel that way because of this line right here from paragraph 5. There will be a time, if you're into the idea, for the unreleased vault tracks from that album to hatch. And then she talks about debut. Those two albums can still have their moments to re-emerge when the time is right, if that's something you'd be excited about. She says those two albums, not one, two. Not me, not Hermione, you. Okay. Had to throw it in there. But come on, guys, she said it right there. I did ask a bunch of you guys your thoughts on Reputation TV on my Instagram and in my YouTube comments, and I wanted to read you a couple of them. Let's have a minute of silence for all us clowns who predicted Rep TV when she hadn't even recorded it at all yet. That collective feeling felt around the world. On a serious note, I get what she says though. Reputation was such a vibe and an almost unrepeatable moment in time. I do hope she will release those vault tracks eventually. So happy for our girl. Same. Next comment. I'm just so happy for her, and TBH, I don't need Rep TV. Taylor is right, it's perfect the way it is, but I really would love to hear the vault songs, and also being able to hear young Taylor and older Taylor both is so amazing. So true. I've been seeing so many people online being like, I was able to like re-download all of her old songs without feeling guilt about giving money to Scooter, and like, what is this thing that I just saw? The account Taylor Swift Updates posted, despite not releasing new music for over a year, Taylor Swift achieved the biggest streaming day for any female artist on Spotify in 2025 with 64.5 million streams. This girl, are you kidding me? The army that you have behind you, that's all of us celebrating. Who else listened to Reputation that day? Who else listened to all the old, it's so cool. That like, no matter how far spread out Swifties all around the world, the power is there. It's clear. We've got the numbers to back it up. Next one says, I am actually totally fine not getting Rep TV. I hate the thought of forced feelings and love that she's honoring that time in her life by letting it exist, especially if she doesn't have to. See, I agree with all of that. I just feel like it would be so weird for her to release Reputation with 4 tracks and not the whole thing. Especially now that she's in like a new happy relationship that's an old part of her life. Like I just feel like that would be like a hanging, looming thing of like, oh, you didn't re-record New Year's Day? You didn't re-record Gorgeous or Call It What You Want? Why not? Like if you're so, and not me, but other people would be like, aren't you so happy with Travis that you can blah, blah, blah. Like, I just feel like we're probably gonna get it. That's what I think. Another person said, I find it very interesting that it's difficult for her to re-record Rep. For me, it's a love album for Joe, and it makes me wonder. I think that too, honestly. I think that, you know how we all were leading up to TTPD and we were all expecting it to be like, oh, she's going to war, baby. She's about to tear Joe Alwyn apart. We like thought that we saw J-O-E in like some weird letters. I don't know. We were on something back then. But it's like, I feel like she purposefully only made it obvious that So Long London and LOML were about Joe, or like, you know what I mean? We're not supposed to go back and contribute everything to one song. Trust me, I've read the prologue and the Why She Disappeared poem, but it's just like, she went back and I feel like in TTPD, she mixed together all of these relationships. Daddy, I Love You was about Maddie Healy, and then it was also about Travis, and could have been about Joe too, a little bit in there. And it's just, it feels like retroactively protecting someone that was really there for you in a time that you're like, yeah, we didn't work out, you're not my person, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about you and your feelings and that I don't respect you and the things that Joe did for her in that time of her life. And it was very, very, very big deal for Taylor going through all of that. I can't imagine thousands, you've seen the movies, you've seen the tweets, the thousands of people telling her that they hate her and they don't want her here anymore. Horrific things. And like, I already said it, but he made her feel brand new. Like, it's like certain lines from like Endgame when she says, your handprints on my soul. I believe that. And I take her at her word when she says things like that. Just because someone doesn't end up being your person, 6 years of love and living together in life, very significant. And I could very easily see Taylor not wanting to like just have the whole you're Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend narrative follow Joe Alwyn for the rest of his life. It's already going to in some sense, but do you know what I mean? I just kind of rambled a little bit, but I think you know what I mean. But on the subject of Taylor Swift singing old love songs about Joe, I wanted to bring up the times that Taylor Swift, since their breakup, has sung old love songs that were about Joe on stage at the Eras Tour specifically. Anyone else remember Call It What You Want, the angry version in Cincinnati, Ohio, July 1st? You can see the anger and the hurt that she has to revisit in that song, especially when their breakup was so recent. I actually revisited these moments in these specific clips, but because of music copyright reasons, I can't show that here on YouTube. So I posted my full reaction and thoughts to all of those specific moments from the Eras Tour where you could see the heartbreak on my Patreon. Links in the description of this video if you would like to sob with me. But it is wild to see, it really is. Especially the growth of like, when she sang Call It What You Want in Cincinnati versus when she sang it in New Orleans and she was already with Travis, and it's just wild. Taylor Swift is a prolific songwriter and creator that like she's a person that when she's singing, her emotions are at like the tip of her tongue. Like, I don't know, she hasn't told me, but I'm assuming that she's like right back there in that moment and having to like relive those moments when she's on the piano, playing guitar of like, I wrote down these words because I was hurt, because I was in love, because I was angry, I was this, I was so whatever it was. And that's gotta be really hard to relive in front of millions and millions of fans. Obviously, she loves doing it. That's why she does it in the first place, but it's just interesting. It's just great to see how far our girl has come. It really is. Oh, but yes, guys, it sounds like debut TV is coming. There are some rumors floating around the fandom that Taylor's gonna wait till her 20th anniversary of debut, which would be October 2026. It's kind of far. I personally think that we're getting TS12 this year. I do. And I really like whoever came up with that theory that the TaylorSwift.com splash page where it says the letter to all of us, it's 2 pages. Are we gonna like one day click on it and it's gonna move and it's gonna have another page announcing something? And what does the insignia mean? It looks very Great Gatsby-like. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about how maybe TS12 is Great Gatsby themed, and I don't know. I feel like we're all just like, now that we don't have Rep TV, what can we theorize and go crazy about? And that's just like what's clearly happening. It's all in good fun, of course, but who knows with that girl? That's why we're all here. It's just fun to talk about the music. I like to keep things very positive on my channel while also diving deeper into the pop culture topics that you guys really care about. So let me know what other stuff you'd like to see me talk about, deep dive. Sabrina Carpenter, are you teasing a new album for summer? Are you teasing a new music video? Yes, in fact, past Lauren, Sabrina Carpenter just announced her new single, Man Child, and she tweeted out, "This one's for you." And we're all assuming it's about her ex-boyfriend, Barry Cogan. Hope I'm saying that right. But she looks amazing in this music video clip. It comes out Thursday. You'll be seeing this video. It might be out by the time you see it. By the time this video comes out tomorrow. So what's it gonna be about? There was a lot of tea surrounding their breakup. Are you guys interested in that kind of content? Let me know. Let me know if there's any other pop culture moments you guys would like me to cover. Feels good to be regularly posting on YouTube again. I know, famous last words, Lauren, it's only twice, but I'm really working on it. I'm like trying to figure out what my deal is and why she disappeared. But really though, I'm getting back to it and it feels so good and natural for me to be talking to you guys again. And yeah, I don't need to have a little after school special at the end of this video, but I just wanted to say I love ya. Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for sharing it with your Swiftie friends. I so appreciate you. And please, please, please comment down below all of your thoughts to everything. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm right. Like I want to know your thoughts. That's why I made this video, to hear from you guys. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for you. I gotta go catch a plane back to LA. I'm currently in Denver right now. But if you enjoyed this video at all, please make sure you leave it a like, subscribe to my channel, make sure you're following me on Instagram where I post daily, and on my TikTok and Snapchat if you want. I don't know how to. If you're on there, I'm there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Bye.